We're here with Jake Gore from Aspire Art, and they are launching a unique opportunity in terms of collectible cars, a car auction that aims to be probably the finest, top quality auction that this country has seen in terms of collectible cars. Am I right on that, Jake?
That is correct.
That's the idea. So, what do we mean when we talk about top quality cars?
We've spent a lot of time, and we've probably been debating having this concept and idea over the last 3 years, and we kind of see it divulging into three key areas. One of them is the collectability of a car. We want to put a car on that is desirous. You know, people have got a need. There's various cohorts who might have a desirability. We've chatted about it earlier in terms of somebody who's got an age component, or there's a rarity in it. We have a very rigorous process that looks at that. The second is the quality, really in terms of the platform itself, who we've partnered with and the cars that we put on. There's rigorous debate, discussion to make sure that the car that you see isn't just, and I'm not going to just an Austin Cooper or just a Ferrari Testarossa, but this particular one, we know absolutely every detail about it. And then I think the third and final component is the price. You know, this is an auction. There is, low estimates, high estimates, reserves. We've made sure that we've got willing partners, willing sellers, that these prices are fair and market related.
How many cars are going on the auction?
We have currently 23 cars on the auction, and of all breeds and shapes.
So it's a pretty exclusive thing then. I mean, it's not a mass auction at all, is it? I mean, it is just the number of cars will tell you that.
It's not a mass auction. We've been very deliberate, I think, kind of mentioning those three key elements around in terms of desirability, quality, and price. We've deliberately tried to keep it below 20, but there were three that we added, just in terms of we couldn't say no to them. Yes, it's quite exclusive, but the price range is quite broad. We've got a 10 million rand low estimate Lamborghini Diablo SV, all the way to something in the couple hundred thousands from an Austin Cooper. So we've got a broad range, even though it's quite tight.
And the question is there that kind of money in the country to buy these kind of collectible cars?
The answer has to be yes, and it's kind of a two-folded one. I think one, anybody, and I know you're a big petrol and so am I, is that if you look around you in terms of the current exposure that you see, from dealerships to car clubs to what we're standing in right here, this is a retail servicing and purchase place for Ferraris. The market is bigger than you think in South Africa. There is also a big international market where our cars are desirous. The right-hand drive components that we've mentioned, as well as the fact that, in Joburg particularly, you're not down at the reef. Elements around rust and corrosion. So those kinds of elements, our cars are desirous. South Africans, at least I believe, are deep petrol heads. Everything that you can kind of see, from any type of car to that, we love them. So the market is big, and financially, I think it is big enough to cater for these kinds of events.
So what sort of vehicles have you got? I mean, I believe you've different categories and different sort of genres of vehicles. What can you tell us a bit more about that?
So for this auction, our main element was sticking on those three laurels, as I mentioned to you. We wanted to ensure that each car was there for a reason. Fortunately, it kind of developed a nice trend, and almost if you look at it from a country perspective. So we've got, from a British end, we've got a beautiful Jag XK150. We've got an E-Type Series 1. We've got that Austin Cooper I mentioned, the beautiful MGs. From the Italian side, just showing you over here, we've got what I deem as a modern classic, is a 599. This is from 2008. We have a 308 fiberglass and a beautiful Testarossa just hiding behind there. So we've kind of got a whole range. I can start talking you through the hero pieces, not hero pieces, but there really is a lot. From the Germans, from the British, we've got an American inspired, we've got Italian. We kind of, I don't want to say have it all, but we have it all from a desirability perspective, I believe.
So all of the cars going on auction are head turners. Would you agree? If you're a petrol head and you know automotive history,
definitely.
You'll stop and turn.
Listen, I'm a biased source. I turn around and look at everything. If it's the new Starlet Toyota that's come out with the new facelifted lights, I love that. But I would definitely say these are head turners. Let me put it to you this way: my head would be turning. I've spent a lot of time just standing over those photos that we've taken, so they are head turners.
What's the classic collectible market like in South Africa? Do you think it's strong enough to sustain this kind of high-end auction?
I think it is. We really do believe that there is a strong foundational base in South Africa. You've got on the complete high LSM, high LSM, where you've got guys who own upwards of 50 cars, certain people. And then to the other element, you've got people who are just entering the space and starting to buy, collect, restore, and that where it becomes more hobbyist. You do see the market having, I think, capability both locally as well as from international interest. As mentioned here, our cars are desirous. We are always kind of fending off exports out, but it is big enough. We do believe that. You can kind of see from the numbers that have been trending, some of the other establishments, other retailers. I think you have seen there's been a lot of concepts in terms of developing almost retail classic car houses that are moving around.
Do our prices in South Africa track international trends or not?
The markets are efficient. They do track international trends. You do also have to cater for the fact that the local market, if you were to bring in another car, there are import taxes that would be levied against you, and vice versa, the other way, taking them out. So the prices ultimately do align. You know what I'm saying to you? If it's a Testarossa at this specific price of that condition, you can go online and take a look and see. You know, the market's very efficient, more efficient than art.
Mm-hmm.
Truth of the matter is, I don't think you'll never see this composite of cars on auction again.
No, I mean, yeah, that particular variety of cars. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got that Merc, that 190e 2.5 i16 Evolution is a rare bird indeed, and that's
We pulled it out of a garage. It never gets driven. I mean, what's also been brilliant about this stuff is obviously dealing with our partners, Rosso Sport, Bataille, WH, and that is, we've also been interacting with a lot of the sellers in that. And like, I think this is probably the most beneficial part, is just the level of petrol head and love and emotion. I think I've always loved Jeremy Clarkson's saying, where he says, you know, it's strange, it's just, you know, some metal with rubber and four wheels, but the emotive element and joy it brings is just remarkable.
Yeah.
And that entire process we've had, this has been a fun and exciting project. Dare I say, too much fun, because
I mean,
it's passion and pleasure.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, this is the kind of ultimate expression of engineering and art.
Agreed.
And it's what, everyone's dreams are made of if you're a petrol head.
Definitely.
Particularly with the Ferraris. I mean, honestly, if you haven't lusted after one Ferrari in your life, then you're not a proper petrol head.
And I worry, and let me not try and be a doomsayer about the future. I mean, very excited what technology brings, AI, the electric cars and that. But this is a yesteryear. You know, this is not. You'll never have a 458. You'll never have a V8 naturally aspirated Ferrari built again. It's not going to happen. I think there's an exciting future that tech infuses in that. But this element of mechanical engineering, I think this kind of showcases the pinnacle of it.
Absolutely, I think.
So we will be having a preview starting on the 7th of November from 5:30 p.m. We invite the public, we invite potential bidders. Anybody wants to come through, please come through. The whole of Friday and Saturday up until 11 a.m. the previewings will be available. We'll have our team on hand. Any questions you have, any desires you want to chat around the cars, they're available. The auction itself will take place at 11 a.m. on the 9th of November. This will be on site at Rosso Sport here in Bryanston, as well on our platform through aspireart.net. You can view it, you can bid, you can register online. Registration and bidding is free and open to all. We obviously do a scrupulous process in terms of making sure that you're a serious buyer. Regardless, come through, watch the auctions, interact with these cars. That's really what we're appealing to the public to do.